inspire, empower, grab your girls and soar a little higher. Unlock the fire in you, cause real women don't bitch, no. Real women don't, 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 real women don't bitch.
Hey, thank you for joining me on the Real Women Don't Bitch podcast. This is your proud host, August Crenshaw, aka Mrs. Raw, Real, and Relentless. I am the #1 advanced mental conditioning specialist for entrepreneurs because building mental muscle is necessary in order to implement successful business strategies. This show has been created for the woman who is not excuse-driven and needs help building a profitable business. I will be interviewing women from various fields who are willing to break the silence on struggles that specifically affect female entrepreneurs. Welcome to a show where I and guest speakers from time to time share our methods that help us beast our business no matter what is going on in our lives. Whether you are an online or brick and mortar business owner, this show is for you. We will hit every angle, personal, professional, and spiritual. Why? Because on any given day, you get hit with shit from a scenario involving one, more, or perhaps all of the above. It all impacts you and your mindset towards your business. I have made it my personal mission to provide a space where we dive deep into the BS we face on a day-to-day basis. Welcome back. Time to challenge the way you think and the way you run your business once again. Why? Because I want to set you up for success. Question: why are so many of you trying to build your business backwards? I mean, seriously, what in the world made you think that you were going to create a course, put it out there, and then all of a sudden you were going to be rich? Yes, you are a genius. As a coach, I teach people to tap into their genius. But your genius without the connection of your potential clients is a one-sided thought, and I like to call that being arrogant. Let me go back and say what I said again. You're building your business backwards if you think that you're going to create a course, put it out there. Because you put it out there, now all of a sudden you are going to be rich. And I see so many people do this all the time. You go and you opt in for those programs to create signature courses. Well, let me tell them myself, instead of saying you do it, how about we say I've done it? I've went out there, I've opted in, I've created the signature course, and then I couldn't get anybody to opt in. I couldn't get people to buy it. I was boosting posts. I was going live every day. I was doing a whole bunch of things, but I had no freaking clue. Here's the reality. Yes, you have a brilliant idea, and the way that you want to reach the masses, you want to serve them. All of that is phenomenal. But part of reaching the people is understanding them. And my question for you is, how much effort have you put into understanding people? A lot of you have read a ton of books. A lot of you have listened to a lot of other speakers, but the people that potentially are going to use your product or service, you haven't talked to them. You've sat somewhere in a think tank and you've probably even asked people for advice. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? And they're not even your ideal client. And you receive feedback for some of the things that you want to do, and the feedback is irrelevant. Once again, I'll use myself as an example. When I first started building my coaching business, I was in communication with one of my male cousins a lot, and I was writing these books and I was thinking it was great because they were centered around relationships, and I'm getting the masculine perspective, and this is really going to make this be a bombshell book. But at the end of the day, he was not my ideal client. And I put my information, I put that stuff out there, and all I got was crickets. I wasn't talking to the people who wanted the product first. I talked to them last. I made the product, and then I talked to them to say, hey, get out there and buy it. What I didn't do is I didn't make any connections. There was nothing that had August Crenshaw resonating in the minds of the people. At some point, you have to understand that an individual like me is not a dream killer, and that an individual like me does not believe in limits. I'm raw, real, and relentless for a reason. The reality of it is that all good things take time. I didn't say it had to take a lifetime, but I am saying that it takes time. And the wisdom in how you are supposed to execute comes from the people that you were created to serve. And if you start from the back end by creating a course, here's a question for you. I remember receiving a phone call from Google because I went to go fill out the information to list my business through Google. And then I ended up getting solicited, and somebody called and was like, hey, can I speak to the owner of Created and blah, 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 blah. By the way, do you want to be at the top of the search engine? We want you to know that we provide this service, and all you have to pay is, I forgot what it was, like $400. And then you're going to be at the top of the search engine. And you want to know what I asked the person? And it made the conversation end very quickly. I said, how many people do you say this to? How many people do you tell them that they're going to be at the top of the search engine if they opt in for this thing? At that point, I was advertising as a life coach. How many other life coaches have you told that to? And if 400 of us pay $400 to be at the top, who's at the bottom? That wasn't a hard question to answer. That was really like in your face. And that's what I want you guys to understand about building your business. You can go out here and you can listen to all the experts and you could create stellar Facebook ads, but all of that stuff takes time. It takes time to put the information out there for you to strengthen your targeting based on the results that you get. It takes studying that information to understand how to correct it. And think about this. If it takes 7 times to 12 times for somebody to see something before they move, if you put something out there just because you created an ad and you pushed yourself out there, but there are oodles of other people that have put ads out there too, how many times are they seeing the product or service that some other bigger wig that's paid more money, that gets more play, that's paid a higher bid, that has a bigger investment? How many more times are they going to be seen than you? So what a lot of you guys don't want to do is you don't want to do the legwork. You don't want to have the conversations. You don't want to communicate with people so that you can make the strongest impact and rely on something that's called word of mouth. I'm not saying don't do ads. I'm not saying you can't create courses. I'm not saying that you're not supposed to be looking for passive income. But what I am saying is don't let that muscle die. Don't be in a position where you're not exercising that grit and that grind to get out there and to be building and expanding at the same time. Be prepared to tweak your products and services. Be prepared to tweak the way that you reach out to people and the way that you do things. You are supposed to be evolving. I mean, honestly, let's just think about something for a second. The average entrepreneur had a vision to help and to connect with people. And a lot of you aren't willing to take ownership for the fact that you allowed someone to pervert your vision and try to make it into a get rich quick scheme. Listen to me, I'm not anti-passive income. I have stuff all over the place that is steadily having this drip effect. And I'm literally going to wake up one morning and be like, oh shit, oh, Poppy, look at the bank account. It's been sitting pretty good, but what the hell is this? You know, if it wasn't for the work I was doing, I might be questioning whether or not there was a bank error level of money coming into my accounts. Yes, you do all of that stuff. But while you're in the process of doing everything that you can do so that you have that coming in, you have got to be working with people so that you can perfect what you do. While you're working with people, you are also fueling your passion. I'm going to tell you something. I thrive off of communication. I get excited when I talk to someone and I'm right there in the midst of what's going on. My soul gets set on fire if I say to someone, when you go and pitch, say this and say that. And they've been doing it a completely different way. When they do it the way that I've explained to them to do it, and they come back and they were successful, they've never seen anything like that happen with them before. They're on fire. I'm on fire. It was a combination. It was a joint effort. They took the time to put in the work, and I gave them some intellect behind how to do it. That fuels my soul and my spirit. Taking me completely out of the equation of the interaction between me and the entrepreneur would take the whole reason why I'm put on this earth, and it destroys it. Everybody doesn't have the same desire to have the same level of connection, but we're people. And just admit it, at the core of you, you want to be connected with individuals. And what many of you are doing is you're trying to figure out how to establish a company with the least amount of connection. How are you even going to know that you created a product that will stand the test of time without making the connections? Everybody learns things differently. Everybody perceives things differently. And having multiple people that you work with actually is your beta, even for that which you already know, so that you can see in your vision to understand how to create a product that'll stand the test of time. For those of you that have ever purchased an online product that really was the shiznit, think about that moment when you were like, oh, okay, I'm listening to this. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. This doesn't make, and they say, wait a minute. If you were looking at this program and at this point, something didn't make sense to you, then that means that you probably have a tendency to work this way. And I want you to try this method. And then that method works. You're like, dang, they a genius. Were they reading my mind? No, they weren't reading your mind, because there are like patterns of behaviors, like patterns of comprehension. Being in the business for a minute and studying different subjects, different people, allowed them to say, okay, these are the potential types of scenarios that exist. This is how I should position my product. This is why I know what the frequently asked questions are. And this is why I make products and services that take care of everything. A lot of you don't even find out until after you launch your product or service, and somebody's like, well, what about this? And what about that? And then all of a sudden you kind of feel like, dang it, I didn't do this. And then your ego is hit. Stop building your businesses backwards, people. I'm going to tell you something. If you can't get someone to pay you for a one-to-one, please don't try to figure out how you're going to get them to pay you for a group where your attention is going to be diverted in so many different directions. And if you can't handle a group, then please don't try to create an online course where somebody's going to go through your course and feel left out, cheated, misled, bamboozled, baited, and switched. Building your business backwards is a surefire way to ruin your reputation. I know you guys want to be successful overnight, but no success comes overnight. Take your time, build your business properly. It's arrogant to believe that it's going to go any other way. All right. So that's your episode for today. No building your business backwards. I'll be back with some more nuggets. Thank you for joining me today. Remember to cultivate a mindset that is biased towards taking action. No bitching, whining, or complaining. Here, our mantra is, real women don't bitch, we get shit done. See you next week as I continue to bring you what you need to keep your head in the game and beast your business. Don't forget to hit subscribe and leave us a 5-star review. Would you like a specific topic covered? Have a question you would like answered live? Then head on over to realwomendon'tbitchpodcast.com. Subscribe to my email list, hit me up, and I got you. Interested in being a guest speaker? You walk the walk? Then you can sign up on the website too. This is your #1 advanced mental conditioning specialist for entrepreneurs, Mrs. Raw, Real, and Relentless. Signing out. Deuces.
Inspire, empower, grab your girls and soar a little higher. Unlock the fire in